I have. He is in the building.
John's in the building. Good.
Hello.
Looking good then.
Thank you. Formal attire, you know.
Oh, it's okay. My little pet.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to all, whether you're here in person or attending virtually in your comfort of your own homes. Wherever you are, you're welcome in your pajamas. Whoever you are, whoever you love, and wherever you are in your journey of faith or search for meaning, you are truly welcome. If you're visiting for the first time or for the first time in a long time, know that we're grateful to have you with us. We come together in beloved community to grow in wisdom, welcome and deepen relationships, and act for a just and sustainable world. My name is Alex Schumacher, and I feel especially privileged to have been asked to welcome you this morning. Not only does this allow me to enjoy the sense of renewal and warmth that I've experienced during the last few services and other related events, it also gives me the opportunity to remind everyone of the immensely important event happening at this moment in Montreal, COP15, the UN Biodiversity Conference. Excuse me. This relates pertinently to our seventh principle, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are all a part. This conference focuses on how we might slow the serious global deterioration of biodiversity, and this will only continue to happen and to the detriment of humanity under the current business-as-usual scenarios. It is clear that to effectively reduce our impacts on it, we must all recognize our dependence on nature and cherish our relationship to it and change our present consumptive practices. Everyone is cordially invited to participate in coffee and discussion after the service in Wickenden Hall. For those who are new here, please find the table with the blue cups. I hope we have blue cups. Yeah. Good. Hopefully this will attract an informative board member to answer all the questions you might have. For those participating online, please click on the appropriate link to find genial conversation and more information. We acknowledge that this meeting takes place on the traditional territories of the people of the Blackfoot Confederacy, which was signed, Treaty 7, which was signed on September the 22nd, 1877. This confederacy includes the Siksika, Peguni, Kainai First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, which includes the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley bands. The city of Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. We acknowledge that we are all treaty people. And now I'll go to the Reverend Cherry for the chalice lighting.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Shelley Thompson. My pronouns are she and her, and I am the interim minister here at Calgary Unitarians. It is so wonderful to be together today, both online and in person, for this fabulous intergenerational worship that we've cooked up. I think you're going to love it. I see lots of pajamas out here. This is wonderful. There is still an awful lot of the December holiday season happening here. So a few reminders. This next Friday, the 16th at 7 p.m. will be our in-person Blue Christmas service right here in the sanctuary. And for those who would prefer an online gathering for Blue Christmas, we're going to do that at our regular Vespers service on Tuesday night, the 20th at 7 p.m. So we'll have one of each, online and in person. And then a reminder that we made an error in the e-news. It's actually Saturday, December 17th, the correct day to drop off cookies for Operation Cookies. So those plates can be made up and made beautiful so that people can pick them up to take them and deliver them on Sunday. So please bring those on that Saturday, the 17th. And then on Sunday, the 18th, we ask that you please bring items for our mitten tree. So that's gloves, hats, scarves, anything warm and cozy that you want to hang on mitten tree. And those donations will go to In From the Cold. And I want to thank everybody who makes these wonderful, caring missions possible every year. It really makes a difference, and it's such a warm feeling for all of us to know that our community cares so much about everyone. Now we light our chalice with the words of Gordon McKeeman. Deep calls unto deep, joy calls unto joy, light calls unto light. Let the kindling of this flame rekindle in us the inner light of love, of peace, of hope. And as one flame lights the other, nor grows the less, we pledge ourselves to be bearers of the light, wherever we are. Please rise in body or spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, You Are My Sunshine.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sheila McMaster, Director of Religious Education here at the Calgary Unitarians, and my pronouns are she and her, and his pronouns are he and him. This is Gilbert. Hello. And we are going to have a fun day today. So the theme is the night before, and someone said to me, the night before what? And I said, the night before everything. So the night before Christmas, when you're in bed and you're waiting for morning and you don't want to go to sleep, but you have to go to sleep, and Santa won't come if you don't go to sleep, or the night before Hanukkah, or the night before solstice, or the night before anything when you were a little kid. And you want to get back that feeling. So thank you to those of you who are wearing your pajamas or comfy clothes. Those are equally fine. And everyone has their stuffies with them. Woo, stuffies, yay! And we also have a lot of other fun things today. As Reverend Shelley mentioned, it's our Intergen Day. So we've got red balloons for balloon toss. We have bubbles to blow. You'll see our bubble makers on the tables. We also have, just as you exit the door from the sanctuary here, we have little name tags. And if you want, write down something that you like to talk about. Could be anything. Mine has cooking in the Instapot. Oh, I could tell you stories about the Instapot. And I like cats, and I also like tiny homes. And the reason for this is that, remember when you were a little kid and making friends was easy? It was like this. Hi. Hi. Do you want to be my friend? Yes. And then you'd go do something. And now as an adult, you're like, hi. Do you want to be my friend? And they're like, I forgot my phone over here. So how do we break that ice? How do we talk to each other again? So if you want to have a great conversation, make yourself a little name tag, and the stickers and felts are just outside the door by the stuffed animals, and you want to cozy up to your stuffy as we do our service today. And just close your eyes. Let's all close our eyes. Okay, I'm closing my eyes. My eyes are closed. And I want you to think back. Go far back. And if you're older, you got to go far back. If you're younger, it's like yesterday. You don't have to think that hard back. But think of your favorite childhood memory from when you were a little kid. What did it look like? What did it smell like? What was the event? What were the sounds that you could hear? What were you excited about? You know, for me, I remember the night before Christmas, and my sister opened in all her presents sneakily, and I refused. I said, I'm not going to look because I want to be surprised. And I remember cozying up in my bed, and the Christmas lights were on, and they were all multicolors, and it looked so beautiful as we looked down at all the presents. And then I went in my bed and went to sleep. Yeah, so now you can open your eyes, just hang on to that feeling as we read our story, Goodnight Moon by Margaret Weiss Brown. And for those of you who got handed sticks with pictures, look at your picture. And when I say the picture's name, hold up your picture and wave it. And then everybody look to see where the picture is in the room, all right? All right, so many of you might know the story from your own childhood growing up. In the great green room, there was a telephone. Oh, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there was 3 little bears sitting on chairs. Who has those bears? There they are in the back. And 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens and a little toy house and a young mouse and a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. Good night room, good night moon, good night cow jumping over the moon. Good night light and the red balloon. Good night bears, good night chairs. Good night kittens and good night mittens. Good night clocks and good night socks. Good night little house. Good night, little mouse. Good night comb and good night brush. Good night nobody. Good night mush. And good night to the old lady whispering hush. Good night stars and good night air. Good night noises everywhere. The end. And so you might be wondering, how can this childlike wonder help you find the bright side or hope when you need it? Being like a child spurs your imagination, visionary thinking, and opens you to adventure. And so those are all wonderful reasons to have a little fun today. And I'll leave you with a quote by Bet Kelly. It says, "May the moon shine bright upon you tonight and kiss your nose with magical moonbeams."
Thank you, Sheila. I love that story. We light once again our candles of care and concern for all the joys and celebrations in our lives, all the things we're looking forward to, the sorrows, the cares, the worries that keep us up at night, things too important not to share. And our global candle, as Alex reminds us, we are best off when we remember that we are all a part of that interdependent web of creation. We all need each other to survive. And as we will soon be moving into Wickenden to continue our intergenerational worship, instead of coming forward today, I invite you to speak or whisper the names of those you want to lift up into the light and love of this community. Jane and Cora. And all those who remain in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts. May all who are near and dear to us feel the warm hugs and peace of our prayers. Amen. Now is the time we bless this community with the generous giving and grateful receiving of your financial support. Here in our faith home, it really is the teamwork that makes the dream work. It takes all of us contributing time, talent, and treasure to sustain this place for all. Our For Others this month is the Ministerial Discretion Fund that can be used to help congregants in times of special need or to fund emerging ministry opportunities. Hopefully there's not too much emergency ministry going on. Emerging ministry opportunities that are not in the budget, but we still want to do them anyway. This flexible fund makes it more direct and immediate, the ministry that we're able to offer. Your gifts will now be gratefully received. Ushers, please come forward. And now if you are here with us in person, you're invited to go to Wickenden for cookies and cocoa and star ornament making and time to hang out with the kids, yay! And to use your conversation starters with one another and have some really good conversation. And for those of you online, we invite you to also make that list of conversation starters you can share in the chat, and there'll be a link in the chat to the coffee time. And we hope you have wonderful conversations too. In the spirit of Good Night Moon, we say, good night piano, good night colorful quilt, good night altar, and good night purple chalice. And while we travel from here to there, Christian is going to treat us to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.